So, starting with guitar tones. I used Seymour Duncan Blackouts in my 7 string. All 3 songs of this EP is actually recorded with this 7 string. Um, for the first song, what's it called again? The Shore of the Forlorn, I used drop A tuning, but the song is in not drop. The key of the song is in D harmonic minor, and I think there's also some Hungarian minor in there. Basically, all 3 songs are in some form of harmonic minor or Hungarian minor. Um, yeah, the second song is in B standard, key is E, and the third song I actually dropped it all down to drop G, and I can't quite remember. I think the key was actually C, or was it all the way down to G? No, I think it was something higher than that. But it's weird. I don't actually use the lowest note of the guitar as my key center, but I did something weird and finicky in between because I wanted to be a little bit more experimental and technical in this EP. So yeah, Seymour Duncan Blackouts, massive pickups. Don't judge me for using active pickups. This goes in here. First, the iBox Noise Gate TC Electronic Sentry. It's a multi-band noise gate, actually. I think it's working on 3 bands or something. The cool thing about that is, and I know this is super dusty, yikes. Cool thing is it kind of filters out some of that high-end noise when you have a power chord just kind of fading out, or you let it sustain and it fades out, so it dials down all that noise in the top end while the low end still keeps on sustaining. That's definitely great. It doesn't just cut out everything, ouch, immediately when the signal gets too quiet. Then we have, no, I didn't use this one actually. Here I used this one, the Boss SD1 Classic, with these settings. Classic, tone all the way up, so it really bites. I wanted to have a really biting tone in this EP. Then the Dan Electro, this is an octave fuzz. I only used in the first song with those 2 breakdowns. Then this thing, the Jupiter FX real saturator. You can see the settings. This one is pointing right at this G right there. And this adds a little bit of the snarl in the tone, a little bit of that chainsaw character. Come on, focus camera. There we go. Yeah, and then all of that went into my Laney Ironheart. So for rhythm guitars, I also used the rhythm channel. Here you can see the settings. Come on, focus. So gain, I couldn't put too high, otherwise it would get way too chainsaw-ish. Bass 0, mids on -1, treble a bit higher. Yeah, here dynamics and tone. And for leads and extra layers, I also used the lead channel. Here are the settings for that. Pretty similar. Yeah. And then all of this goes to actually the lower one, the torpedo captor. And then that went into my orange 1x12. I loaded this up with the greenback, the G12 M25, whatever it's called. And I only picked up the SM57, but it wasn't at this position. I actually put it in the position where I taped off the square. That works pretty well for that kind of tone. The position it's in now is for my next project. It's more mid-rangey, more gnarly, but I wanted to have it a bit brighter and smoother in the upper mid-range, and the other position there that squared off worked better for that.
And that is giving me this raw sound. I could have probably turned up the treble a little bit more, but yeah, that's what EQ is also for. And then first of all, I just put a bit of console and tape emulation just to give it this little bit of extra life. And then there's this EQ happening. You see it's pretty drastic, cutting down a lot of resonances and then compensating for that again by brightening it up with this white boost. It's not the sexiest approach, but quite honestly, what sounds good, okay? And then here Ozone 9 is just putting a little bit of stereo imaging on here. And then when the octave fuzz comes in, there's this EQ happening. Yeah, because the octave fuzz really dips down a lot of that lower mid-range and it sounds too scooped. So yeah, you just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So the way I approach this kind of EQing, actually pretty simple. I listen in the mix. Well, let's take out the vocals for now. And then I just identify resonances and take them down one by one until they don't sound annoying anymore. You can even quite clearly see them. Yeah, and you see I quickly actually get to the same step that I am here. Almost. So, and then these little bit of further tweaks happen down the line. But anyway, that's it for the guitars. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will get to other stuff in the future. I will see you then.